This is the picture that I finally found. I got 2 life-size cutouts to illustrate the difference between what some people call, well, it's called by a variety of things. Proper is often used to refer to the dress-up language. Your students have names for language that you want them to learn in school and language that they speak out at recess. Casual and dress-up was the best thing I could come up with for this particular visual. I've heard at this conference solidarity and status, that might work. The vernacular and standard is very useful, but I don't know how that would go down with your students. Whatever terms you can use, a visual like this and updated with the student's dress. This is what my generation used. But notice that they're both wearing the same basic garments. There's a top, their trousers, their shoes. But the choices are signals to people that they're with that they're acting in one capacity or another. And my own visual is the TV pictures of Princess Diana's funeral, where all the people inside the cathedral were dressed in the black suits, and on the outside in the rain, people were in their wellies and their raincoats with their umbrellas. It didn't matter who the person was, it was where they were in that context. And if some kind of overriding image like this can be presented to students, then you can automatically talk about contrastive analysis for their language. And you can have them explore the kind of language that they're hearing at home and that they're hearing in their peer groups. And students in the schools, I think, need to be encouraged, just as the teachers preparing to teach them are, to study and collect data on their own language communities. We can, together with our students, I think, begin to collect even better data on what's going on with language. And certainly Connie Edley has shown that with her work on slang in the college and university communities. We don't know what they're using these days. I mean, every 3 or 4 years over my long and checkered teaching career from 6th grade to university, I was learning new words and new uses for old words. And I know that that's the case for all of us. If I could look at just the definitions of register and code switching as a final comment. These are technical terms, and they're on the back of your handout, that I think we need to introduce into our thinking as we frame this curriculum. And these are definitions that have been thought about long and hard. The short definition of register, a socially defined variety of language such as scientific or legal English. My favorite example of register is cookbook recipes. There's a distinct language that's used in that. And if we could think about the way we're asking our students to use language as X register or Y register, that would go a long way to getting over the prescriptive hang-ups that we have. And then the code switching, that applies, I think, not only to languages like Spanish and English, which are increasingly frequent in the South, but also to dialects. I hope I've planted a seed, and if I could leave you with 2 thoughts. Teachers teach the way they were taught, and together we can figure out how to do this.
Okay, thank you, Patricia. questions, comments?
I was wondering what are the internet language that the kids are using now? How does that play into this visual that you give us?
Oh, that's a wonderful idea. I think there are probably different registers on the internet. I mean, that would be my, off the top of my head, hunch. I know nothing about that because I've never participated in any of those chat groups. But I bet if you you created a really good assignment, you could find out a lot about that. Is that what you're asking?
Yes, because my daughter gets emails while I'm on there, and I'll read some of it, and so I'm like, what are they saying?
Exactly. I actually had one of my university students bring me in a list of symbols that were being used, and that helped me a bit. You know, the smiley face backwards, and but the abbreviations I have not kept up with, and I do get some of them myself. I don't know what they're talking about. What is LOL? Thank you. You see, I mean, yeah, that's a very good example of something you need to be exploring.
Very much.